Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be continuing our run with Heimerdinger against the 10-star adventure from the Nightmares campaign. I figure we're still not out of the woods yet because Heimerdinger as a champion is very fragile in the first few turns. We did get some power that help us with that, but it probably isn't enough against the harder adventure. So we hopefully find something that helps us in this second part of the run. We're going to get an extra power. Eternal Hunger, twice slain beyond the mists. Twice slain gives us a spell, a 2-cost spell. That's okay, I guess. We don't really care about the encroaching mists. The allies have +1/+0 for every 7 times you've dealt damage this game. Unfortunately, I don't think that really is that relevant for us either. We already get a lot of buffs from our science power anyway. I think the extra spell might be the best option out of all of these. I have 2 rerolls. I would rather keep some of them at least. Let's pick up the twice slain. Rekindler, Slotbot, Ethereal Remitter, Spells Chest. I think this is a bottom path. The bottom path has better rewards at least. But I don't think we can match Jinx and Draven's aggression, that's the problem. So I'm kind of forced to take the top path because of that. I guess that's it then. We just go for the top path and we try to get rid of a lot of cards from our deck in the meditation encounter so that that way our deck is extremely consistent. At least that seems like it's going to be the plan. I'll keep the p.2. Among the cards that I have in hand, at the very least this one allows me to mulligan, quote unquote, by allowing us to manifest. And we get absolute garbage in our opening hand. Can do Hex Obliterator. Just Hex Obliterate one of the Boros. The unfortunate part really is that I guess we can do X-Tech Handler Indestructible. We don't proc the X-Tech Handler, but we don't really need to. I'd much rather have the board control, to be honest. Yeah, let's do just that. We'll do that on the Ephemeral. Can p.2, but I won't. Get rid of this guy, and this guy. We got Formidable. That's kind of a low roll in terms of the powers or the rewards from our science power, but it could be worse. The opponent's just going to refuel, isn't he? Yep. If only I could get something out of the p.2. Unfortunately, I can't. Just do that there. He's going to get a whole bunch of buffs. And then here, I guess I can do Flash of Brilliance, try to find a decent spell. Reinforcements could be worse. Let's do Gnar. We can use Gnar's champion spell to stall. The opponent doesn't even bother attacking, he's just going to get 2 full turns of keywords and buffs. Oh, absolutely atrocious. I can do Hex Obliterator on one of these, but it's unnecessary. All of my units right now have elusive. I can play towards that. Just the fact that they have elusive. I think I play control. We do lose out on a lot because my units have formidable. So I don't really have an incentive to do this. But I think it's my best shot at winning. And I just have to wait for a production surge or... yeah, production surge just to try to draw into a Heimerdinger. Really? Nothing. I'll take that pass. I don't really care about leveling up Nar anyway. He's still 6 to something. That's still 6 there. Actually no, 6 to the Ringblade Elder is probably better.
Our purpose calls to us. We cannot turn away.
The opponent's probably attacking with all of these. Can stun one. Then I have to throw one.
We are at the threshold of
Never mind. The opponent has another unit that stuns on summon. I guess I can do the second Exfiltrator. Maybe not. Can do Indestructible here to protect the Nar. Then I'll just stun here to protect my health total. Or I can do the Epic Scrap Traction. Scrap Traption actually is better. At least this way we generate a blocker that can interact positively with that. Actually, let's get rid of the Elusive. The Elusive is a blocker. And then I stun that one. Let's try to minimize the amount of damage. We unfortunately don't have a lot of ways to regenerate health. Let's cycle the Pokey Stick. Not what I hoped for. The opponent doesn't have a lot of elusives. I might win next turn. Let's hope he doesn't summon an elusive blocker. That's a stun. Damn it. Well, this attack still goes through, but it's only 25. Perilous Pastry, Aftershock. Maybe the Aftershock gives us something decent. +1 attack doesn't really work for us. Oh, but another X-Tech Handler does work for us. That's exactly the card I needed. Never mind, the opponent has a stun. Of course the opponent has a stun. Well, but at least he's now run out of cards. So he can't really do anything else. Let's do Perilous Pastry there. Do one to that thing, and I'll do a Pokey Stick to the opponent's Nexus just to cycle it. There's the Heimerdinger. Finally you decide to show up. Took you long enough. Nar levels up, but Nar leveling up. Completely irrelevant for our game plan. Heimerdinger around. Ooh. Can do Heimerdinger into Progress Day. Get the T-Hex. Let's get rid of... I can't get rid of anything actually. Every single one of the opponent's units has either Spell Shield or Tough. So they all survive the gotcha. And they also have regeneration. How annoying. Guess I'll throw it that way. Then I have to hope that the opponent somehow doesn't have doesn't get a lot of elusive blockers next turn. Or lifesteal units. Okay, we got lucky, not a lot of elusives. I think we win this turn. But yeah, you can see how rough things are. The opponent managed to get 3 full turns of a board with full units. That's not good at all. sure I did get unlucky and I didn't get Heimerdinger in my opening hand, but it's still not ideal. Pokey Stick, Hidden Pathways, Rainbow Fish. Do I care about Hidden Pathways? 4 mana, draw 3. I think we're drawing a lot. I think we're drawing enough. Then again, it's not like we have better options. I think we're better off doing that than some of my... or getting another cheap spell or the Rainbow Fish. At the very least, this is something we can do on turn 1 alongside Heimerdinger. We actually have a decent first turn for Heimerdinger. And of course we don't get Heimerdinger in our opening hand yet again. Why wouldn't he? Or why would he? We have... guess we do... first this thing. Aftershock to get rid of a unit. That's a decent roll, I guess. It's only going to get lifesteal until the end of the turn. If I can do Production Surge, hopefully draw into an Heimerdinger. Nope, just another Gnar. The game really wants me to have the Gnars. Let's get rid of what? The Elusive Poro. I can soften up this guy, I guess. Then we get rid of the Poros. Really deny the opponent the opportunity to refill his board, get extra turns from the power taking. Can do Hidden Pathways to draw 3 here. I'm going to do that. There it is. There's our Heimerdinger. It only took way too long.
It's nothing personal.
Can I kill that unit this turn? I don't think so. If I can't kill it, I guess I'll stun it. But it still feels terrible. The opponent's going to get a full turn of buffs. Well, it could be worse. I can do Heimerdinger this turn and now we're going to start getting a lot going for us.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's do the gotcha here, I guess. This thing is no longer not a text. Let's override it. Can I kill the opponent this turn? I don't think so. Can still threaten the opponent this turn. Do this. The opponent's kind of forced to block. Not really though. Let's see what's in the Flash of Brilliance. Condemn. Might work to get rid of some of the opponent's units that stick around. Come on. That could be worse. Let's do condemn on that guy. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a way to play an additional unit this turn. Of course he does. That was my fault. The opponent always has everything. Meanwhile I have to fight tooth and nail to get Heimerdinger in my opening hand. And that I should have just played everything before attacking. Now he gets another full turn of buffs. Can I get something good off of the Flash of Brilliance? Hopefully. The answer is yes. Emperor's Divide. Emperor's Divide is not really that great. I have to get rid of the unit with Deathless as well.
Oh, this hurts.
My units are all massive,
Come here, handsome.
so it's not like the opponent can really run over them. I don't really have a way to do much of anything. Ooh, is the opponent offering me trades? I hope so. Sure seems like it. Why would you attack this turn, opponent? You could have just done the same thing you've been doing throughout all of this time and just sat around and let your board and your units get massively buffed up just for existing. Maybe the opponent got bored. Let's protect the Heimerdinger. Just playing turrets to replace the old one since my hand is so full. Anyway, can I kill the opponent this turn? Unfortunately, I don't have enough space for the epic scrap traption. But at the very least, this forces the opponent to block in order to survive. He will need to refuel his entire board after this. Emperor's Prosperity overdraws me. Guess I'll do this. Oh, that's a unit that already has Deathless. Doesn't really matter. It does increase my damage, however. Six damage. Can I find damage over the top?
Hello, dear. What have you
Probably not.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
Wait.
Pythos actually might have damage over the top. Nope. Shell game, I guess. So replace the wrench bot. Oh, X-Obliterator. Unfortunately, the opponent's units are already kind of too large for the X-Obliterator. I'm still going to hit the opponent with it though, because the more floor big on turrets, the better. Replace this one, I guess. Let's do Perilous Space Tree. Just throwing whatever damage I can to the opponent's Nexus. I guess that's my turn. The opponent probably gets another full turn of buffs here, because I don't really have removal. At the very least I can proc that spell shield. And got unlucky and hit formidable on my units. As long as I have elusives, I am fine. Maybe. Are you going to attack me, opponent? Even ally elusive this round. Maybe I should save that for the next turn. I'll just do this. It's a complete waste, but it keeps buffing our units.
Try to understand. I'm a you don't.
Full board of buffs. How many elusives does the opponent have? Only 2. Well then, let's see if the opponent gets to survive this. My units have a lot of impact. Okay, we did it. Once again, a lot of just sitting around letting the opponent build up, and that frightens me. It frightens me a lot, because against the final encounter, the Poro King encounter, and the Against the Heart of the Fluffed encounter, we're not going to get that luxury. When any player summons a unit, set itself to 1, kill all damaged units. Does that proc first before the... of course it does, because its round start to fulfills their back row. Then again, Mortal Marks makes every unit extremely flimsy. If I'm not mistaken, what would happen with the Mortal Marks and our power is our turrets would get all of their buffs from the science, then their stats would be set to 1 from the Mortal Marks, and that's no good. So maybe Mercy Killings is better just to keep control of the board. But we might be incentivized to block with Heimerdinger. Don't really know what's coming up next. Let's leave. I don't think we'll benefit from the symmetrical power. Maybe we would. Maybe Mortal Marks would be the correct choice because we can then start messing with the opponent by getting favorable trades, but it's no guarantee. Scout on the turrets. That's a lucky hit. Oh, or what do I want to do here? I think I'll do Heimerdinger. We'll do Heimerdinger first. I can do Exobliterator on the Jhin. Or I can do X-Tech Handler Production Surge. Well, let's do Exobliterator on the Jhin. Get rid of the Jhin right away, maybe force the opponent to play any Jhin he might have. Doesn't seem like he has a Jhin though. Oh right, Annie makes it so all spells and skills deal one extra damage. That's pretty good. Pythos is significantly better then. Let's do Wrench Bot. Then we can do Poison Dart something.
Embrace your fate, as I
Keep
have
control
mine.
of the board this way. Over units have Scout and Challengers, so we can probably kill all of the opponent's units.
Hey, Tibbers.
Well, we would, and we would even deal extra damage to the opponent's Nexus, but unfortunately the opponent had 2 units that just stun my units. But it's fine. We can still deal 4 damage. The opponent's never going to recover from that.
If we seek forgiveness, we must
Exobliterator. I'll use it as removal for a large unit. Let's do this as a response to the opponent stunning my Lorbegon turret. Ooh, that's scary. I guess that's why I saved the Exobliterator.
Our purpose calls to us. We cannot turn away.
Now we can just get rid of the Overwhelmer.
Go willingly.
Deny the opponent damage. I'll override one of the wrench bots with a low-round protege. It's just better overall. I guess I'll use the Perilous Pastries, since I have them in hand anyway. So we get rid of those 2, generate a couple more turrets. I don't think it's worth to play them though. Can do Scout, a Scout attack here. This fills up the opponent's hand with Blade's Edges though. That's not something I really want. Blades edges deal how much damage? It's deal double damage, plus 1 damage, so 4 damage each. You know what? Sure, let's gamble that I can kill the opponent this turn by doing this. Stun, plus 3 to the opponent's nexus. That's fine, honestly. I guess with the board-wide buffs, the opponent has enough to straight up block my units. So this won't be a kill anymore. But maybe if I do this, I get a keyword that allows me to go for a kill. No, but I get one that makes my units tougher. What's the breakpoint currently? 1 out of 6. I think I made a mistake. We're taking a lot of damage from the blade's edges. Can I even kill the opponent? Not anymore. Guess we'll attack with everything. Either the opponent blocks here or he dies. Okay. He loses most of his units at the very least. But he's burning my nexus for a lot with the blade's edges. I think we hit some 8 champion encounters, so we do get to heal up after this. So it's not too bad. Let's do production surge. Get the T-Hex going. This fills up our board with another T-Hex, obviously, because it's the only turret that's within the cost range of 9 mana. At least that's how I interpret the card anyway. The opponent should just die here. Yeah, sure, he gets to maybe block most of my units, but it still takes damage from the elusive, and I have scout, so he has to deal with attack follow-up, with an attack as a follow-up. Arena Mecha Caster or Bouncing Bomb. Let's do Bouncing Bomb. It deals 2 to 2 enemies, and that's pretty good at dealing with Boros. Let's get rid of the hidden pathways. It hasn't really worked out that well for me. And I guess Spotted Toad. We're really going all in on Heimerdinger. Next up is probably the Tribeam Improbulator, but we do have a decent amount of 3 costs, so I'll keep it around for now. Shop or a healer? Well, considering how slow this deck is, I think we can afford to go for the top path and the Sump Monument. Problem is the buff cap up, but I think we'll benefit from the shop encounter, giving us an additional power, as opposed to the card cutting. Let's try to close out this game fast. Keep the Heimerdinger. Hopefully you get... none of these are that great, I guess. I'll do Emperor's Prosperity alongside Heimerdinger. Ooh. This plus Emperor's Prosperity. The opponent's overriding his own units, that's always good too. L'Archon Protégé. I'm actually going to do Production Surge right after, because we managed to get it. And by doing Production Surge we get 2 elusive turrets here. Actually no, it got split between a 1 and a 5. It's still pretty good though, right? At the very least, we will be able to get rid of most of the opponent's units.
Hardly fair.
Well, all of my units have elusive, so I don't really need to get rid of all of the opponent's units. I'll just get rid of 2. Getting rid of 2 will be enough. I doubt he can play 2 units for 1. This maximizes damage and keeps control of the board. Yep, perfect. Can do indestructible. Let's do indestructible there. Everything is elusive, so I get to attack with everything next turn. So I think the correct choice is to develop high attack units. Or the highest attack I can. The opponent obviously gets to buff up his entire board. But it's okay, let's do this to generate some T-hexes. Or a T-hex. And the T-hex combined with all the units I currently have on board should be enough to win, even through the damage halving of the extra plating. Yep, I was right. That went surprisingly well. Didn't even lose out on that much health. I figured that the opponent would deal a lot more damage thanks to the buff caps. Tribim and Probulator, Catalyst of Aeons. Honestly, Catalyst of Aeons alongside the Heimerdinger on the first turn is not that bad of a play, because it gives us 2 extra mana. Do I want an extra revive? How many revives do I have? 2. Do I want a third one? 2 is more than enough. Let's keep the money. We'll need it later. Especially since we're coming up on a shop. Bouncing Bomb is decent. Like I said, Catalyst of Aeons is decent, is good alongside Heimerdinger. So let's keep those 2. We'll adapt accordingly. And watch as I don't draw an Heimerdinger. I called it. That's what I get for making plans. I even draw into something that's not an Heimerdinger. Well, at least I can get rid of those 2. And then I'll go ahead and attack, kill the other 2. Ensure that the opponent doesn't get to proc his buff. Let's give this guy Deathless. At least we are not on a clock like the last encounter where the opponent could just do buff caps to kill us. Actually, let's do this. It gets rid of the Womp's Last Breath effect. That's pretty good. The problem is the opponent's not going to attack here, or he is going to attack with the elusive unit. So he gets a full board of, or a full turn of buffs. Let's do Nar, I guess. So he overrode his own landmark, really? That's a poor decision. There's the Heimerdinger finally. Well, at least I'll get to clear the opponent's board this turn yet again. Double attack on the Nar. I won't make use of that. I'd rather keep control of the board. The opponent's out of resources anyway. So from here on out it's just the units he gets from the power, the Poros. That shouldn't be enough for him to win. Heimerdinger. Let's see what's behind the Flash of Brilliance. Servitude of Desolation. Let's do Pokey Stick and Wallop just to deny the damage. And then we can use the turrets to refill the mana that we've just spent. There. Let's override this one, I guess. And this one. Can do 3 damage. 3. And then we get the turret, refill 1, and then rocket barrage. That sounds pretty good. Then we use the turret to refill 1. To do the rocket barrage here. And get rid of those 2 spell shields. And then that over that turret because it has more attack. And theoretically, we can win this turn. Not really. I'll force the opponent to block everything though. So that's his entire board gone. Let's fill up our mana. Keep getting more stats. I would really like some elusive, maybe overwhelm, so I could close out this game. But I don't think I'm getting that. Let's do all the Pokey Stick yet again. Guess I'm playing the Conchologist to find a spell. Never mind, I got Aftershock. That's a pretty good spell. One's forced to play a unit here. But he's not playing a unit. Okay then. In that case... we got Heimerdinger, let's just play Heimerdinger. Surely we get lethal if we have the T-Hex around. No, but we do get a bunch of removal. And Scout and Elusive in all of our units, never mind. We found lethal. It only took a while to get the good upgrade. But we did it. It's going to be a struggle against Swain and Teemo, isn't it? Summoning Beacon, Hex Obliterator or Shock Blast? Honestly, Shock Blast seems better. We don't really need the extra units on the board. I'd much rather have the extra decent spell. Officer backup, that's a no. Deep Cuts? We don't really care about Deep Cuts actually. Lethality. I'm going to pick it up just because it's the only our only option. All of these are pretty bad. Guess this is a kill spell most of the time, but it's slow. Turning Shadow Grifter's deck? Nah. It's slow, that's a problem. Both of those options were slow spells. I don't really care. I don't think we can afford this many slow spells. Please give me Heimerdinger. Okay, we have a bunch of cards that are good alongside Heimerdinger. And we, of course, don't get Heimerdinger, we get Gnar yet again. There it is. Finally, all of my complaining paid off. Let's do Aftershock first. Over the landmark, I think. This gives us 1 extra mana. We're going for Heimerdinger, which gives us another. And we go up to full mana by doing this. And then I can do either Tri-Beam Improbabulator or Catalyst of Aeons. Deal 3 to a unit, some random 3 cost follower. Can I kill Swain this turn? I would really like to. Let's see if the Catalyst of Aeons is enough to get us there. Yes, it is. Never mind. The Spell Slinger is a thing that exists. What's the breakpoint currently on our upgrade? We don't get there. But we actually do get there because this is a created card and this has stack evolution. So we can get rid of Teemo, let's get rid of the other elusive, let's get rid of Aporo. We play this here for protection and make it so we can kill that unit. Yeah, we even have more than enough damage. Kill that, kill that. The opponent gets left without a board. Sure, you can deal damage to the rocket blaster. You can even get rid of him. But now you have no Swain and no Teemo. So his chances of winning are very low. He does have more units in hand than I have. Never mind. Or more cards in hand than I have, but never mind, I get Progress Day to refuel. See if I get some good upgrades here. Can do Epic Scrap Traption for 1.
Cold isn't the only danger.
I'll do Epic Scrap Traption for 1. And yeah, sure, I'll block with the Heimerdinger. Opponent's power is going to deal 4 to Heimerdinger, but Heimerdinger has Deathless anyway, so it's probably okay. Conchologist. Early Bird. Yeah, sure. Let's force the opponent to discard their highest cost card. Might be the boat. It was not a boat, it was a 3-drop. Okay, good to know the opponent doesn't really have a lot of high cost units in hand. The main problem now, though, is that I don't really have a clear-cut way to kill the opponent because he can just jump block my units. Guess the only jump blocker is this one and this one, because all of my units have Brash. So let's gamble on the opponent having nothing else that can block. And our gamble paid off. Or nothing else that can block any sort of interaction. And we won because of that. If I didn't win there, I would have just played the removal spell I got there. Focusing Crystal or Farsight Alteration. With how unlucky I'm getting in terms of getting a Heimerdinger in our opening hand, I'm very tempted to just pick up Farsight Alteration even though I have 3 Heimerdingers. Surely a 4th one is going to make it so I always draw Heimerdinger in my opening hand. So let's do Focusing Crystal because it's more synergistic. And up next we have the last part of the run. It's going to be a pain to deal with the Heart of the Fluff, isn't it? We'll see when we get there, because that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.